foremost, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong Dezhong Rinpoche, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dukten Dorji. Let's pay homage to the three jewels of the altar, and homage to Green Tara, 21 Tara, and to the Tara who averts natural disasters, and Prajna Buddha Mother, and all the Buddha Mothers and Taras and goddesses under her. Sumo, Dukten Siddhi Rinpoche, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet. And our VIPs today are the Mayor of Kaohsiung City, Mr. Han Kuo-yu, and the legislators Xi and Huang, and from the Council of Kaohsiung City, the Vice Council, Ms. Lui, and the council members, Mr. Zhong, Ms. Chen, Mr. Huang, Mr. Lin, and the former council, Mr. Xi, and the council from Tainan City, Mr. Tsai Wang, and then the rep for the chair of the Kaohsiung City Council, Mr. Luo, and the rep to the council, Shi Hui, the office manager, Mr. Lin, and from Kaohsiung Zhongshan University, the general head, the Professor Xie, and from Kaohsiung City, the Civic Department, the head, Mr. Cao, and from the Fire Bureau of Kaohsiung City, the substitute chief, Mr. Huang, and then the team leader and the vice leader, Mr. Wang, and the smaller team leader, Mr. Liu, and Mr. Lin, and the former mayor of a town from Kaohsiung City, Ms. Li, and general manager of the Jingyi Enterprise, Mr. Wu Guanhe, and Ms. Zhang, and from United Arab Emirates, the Greenfield Company President, Ms. Lin, and her Thai Company, the President Liu, and the General Manager Liu, and Wang Thai Mechanics Company, President Yang, and the Chen Sang Development Company President Lin, Changgang Company President Chiu, Kaohsiung City, the Kaohsiung High the institute, the principal Yang, and all the principals of the schools that are affiliated with Lotus Light, and the former president from the foundation from Pingtung. From Kaohsiung City New Immigrants Female Care Association, the chairman Xu, and the board of director Ms. Xu, and from the Xinbei City, the Nursery Care Volunteer Association, the President Guan and the Secretary Ms. Chen, and the Superintendent Ms. Zheng, and from Tainan City, the Yongkang Tawan Ningxian the Heavenly God Temple, the Wulong Temple, the President Wang, and his retinue of 13 people. And we have well wishes from the chairman of the KMT party, Mr. Wu Dun-yi, for the wish for the good ceremony, and then flower bouquet from the mayor of Taichung City, Ms. Lu, the mayor of Tainan City, Mr. Huang, and then the chair of the council, Mr. Xu, and the vice council, Ms. Lui, and from the president of Zhenggang Company, Mr. Chu. So the flower bouquets with the wish that the ceremony will go well. And Madam to Ambassador Daniel Liao, the rep of Republic of China to Norway and Sweden, my sister Judy, from Academia Sinica, Professor Zhu Ziyi and Mrs. former Chief Secretary of Taiwan Government, Mr. Zheng and Mrs. Zheng. The law advisors of Troubadour School, Ms. Jennifer Zhou, Mr. Luo, and Ms. Huang, members of Troubadour School Scholars Group and Medical Group, the well-known entertainer, Mr. Tai Ziyan, and the well-known wood sculptor, Mr. Jian, and producers for the Great Fashion Dharma Hiraja Exposition and the development stages of Tantrayana, as well as the president of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society, Master Li, and the host, Miss Peijing. These are all my ex-classmates. And all from Malaysia, Datuk, Mr. Kenneth Loy, Natin, Miss Zheng, and their daughter Li Qian, the Hai Datuk, the wife Latin Li Qin, and Latin Sylvie. Producers for Illuminating Your Heart from CTI-TV Taiwan, Mr. Rebecca Shiachi. My sister And thank you to the Sun Sea chapter for the donation of 100,000 NT dollars, and to the Hua Auction Center, Mr. Ma, for his donation of 100,000 NT dollars. Huh? 说什么？谢谢大家。Oh. First, I'd like to thank everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? Greetings in all languages, all different languages. So our ceremony today was very successful. Very grateful to Green Tara, the Tara Bodhisattva, to the 21 Taras, and the Tara who averts natural disasters, and Prajna Buddha Mother, and all the Buddha Mothers and Taras and goddesses under Prajna Buddha Mother, allowed our ceremony today to be filled with spiritual energy. The presidential election is coming up. In Grandmaster's personal opinion, our votes should go to the one who loves the people the most, the one who does work for the people, for the welfare of the Taiwan people. You should open your eyes and watch which one is willing and able to do work for the people, and who is the one who loves the people most. I often say this during election. You should elect the one who is able and the one that is doing work for the Taiwanese people. Okay, I've said it. So everybody has their own view and opinion, but that's my opinion. I really like and hope that the Taiwanese people will be prosperous and that everyone can be happy and healthy and everyone can live a long life, that everyone can be happy. And now I will talk about the Tara who averts natural disasters, which is the main deity of the ceremony today. In order to protect this country, we need to perform this kind of ceremony so that all the people of this area can be prosperous, safe, protected, and that every one of them or us is happy and fulfilled. Before performing tantric dharma, we need a mudra, and the mudra for Tara, who averts natural disasters, is one of them is holding a vase, and the other hand is forming the fearless mudra. So that's the mudra for the Tara who saves us from natural disasters. And you need to visualize her that deity over there. You need to visualize her image, and on her crown there is Amitabha Buddha, Amitabha Tathagata, and that's the look of Tara. So your mind should visualize this deity, and you form the mudra, and you recite the mantra, her mantra, and that would make up a dharma practice. And the mantra: Mama Sawa Ya Ya Maha Hana Paya Sin Tân Mu Guru Soha Om Tare Tu Tare Tu De Mama Sawa Ya Ya Maha Hana Paya Sin Tân Mu Guru Soha Om Tare Tu Tare Tu De Mama Sawa Ya Ya Maha Hana Paya Sin Tân Mu Guru Soha. So you need to recite that mantra 108 times. So with visualization, with mantra, when you chant the mantra, that symbolizes the purity of the mouth, of the speech. When you visualize the Tara who averts natural disasters, that's the purity of the mind. And we form her mudra, and that symbolizes the purity of the body of the practitioner. So this way, you would perform a sadhana dharma practice, one practice procedure. So let me tell you, the Dharma transmission today is secret. So anyone who does not receive empowerment for this Tara, who averts natural disasters, or any Dharma masters who are not here today, cannot perform this Dharma practice. So any Dharma masters, any Dharma teachers, or any disciples who are not here today cannot do this practice. And let me share the secret. What is natural disaster? Earthquake is natural disaster. How do you eradicate an earthquake? Let me share a secret. Well, I've said it before. I invited Master Lianze to perform a Dharma practice, and he did, but there are still earthquakes in Taiwan. Because for that Dharma ritual, you cannot add nor decrease. You cannot increase nor decrease. So, in order to save Taiwan from earthquakes, you have to go to Yilan, or the north point of Taiwan, and take a kilogram of dirt, and then you go to the western beach to get 1 kilogram, and then you go to the east between Hualien and Taitung, place E, and then you also get a kilogram of soil there. And then you go to the southern point of Taiwan, Helan, and also get a kilogram of soil. And you need to make note each of the dirt or soil from where, from Taisi, from Yilan, from Yilan, from the east or from the south. Make sure you need to mark them. Exactly 1 kilogram each. And then at the center point, which is the center of Nantou County, so the center of Taiwan, you also need to get 1 kilogram of soil. And then you place all of them in front of the altar, and place it in front of the altar, and then you perform 108 times of the Tara who saves natural disasters practice, and each time you chant 108 times of mantra. You can do it in a group or individually, and after the practice, you empower or bless the soil, and then you return them to the original place, Yilan, Taisi. So the soil from Taisi should return to Taisi, and the other one from Yilan should return to Yilan, and the soil from Nantou should return to Nantou at the center. And you got 1 kilogram, and you should return 1 kilogram. So within these boundaries, there will not be any earthquake. Japan has the most earthquakes, and we have a Dharma master from Japan.
Japanese master who where? Jing Xiang Shangzi and
Master Jing Xiang.
你是石川敏堂。
And Master
那
Shiwakawa.
你呢？你日本名字叫什么？
What's your Japanese name?
天元清会。日本名字，我们两个日本上师一个是纯的日本人。
We have two Japanese masters. One is a Japanese master, but the other one is a localized Japanese master.
日本最会地震，责任在你们两位。
And the earthquakes, you're responsible for all the earthquakes in Japan.
你要懂得密教的修行，
You need to understand the Dharma practice of Tantayana with the mudra, mantra, and visualization that would make up a practice procedure of a tantric Dharma.
然后可以救地震。
And then you need to do it 108 times. Then you would be able to avert earthquakes. That's a very special Dharma practice in Tantayana, of Tantayana.
才不会有灾难。
So I have taught you how to do it in order to avert the calamities.
日本要在哪里去？日本有4个岛，对不对？
Where should we get the soil in Japan? But Japan has 4 islands. One is Hokkaido, and then Kyushu,
4国哪一个？
and Shikoku,
在那个本州哪一个
and Honshu.
就可以了？就有4样了。
Then there are 4 places.
不管你是关东、关西，
So
哪一个
north,
中间的
south,
就可以了。
east and west,
就有
and
5
then
个图了。
and then find the center point, and there would be 5
这个是
points.
防地震法，看起来好像是很困难，但是可以使它的地震的等级更下降，不要再震，这绝对是有办法。要6级以上最好。6级以上。
So the Dharma practice seems hard, but at least we can lessen the earthquake. If it's above 6, at the Richter scale, that would be horrible, but under that, it's not so bad.
水灾师尊有什么法可以救？
How about disasters due to water?
兵来将挡。
How can Grandmaster help us with that? We have an idiom in Chinese. Is that when the army comes, we should block them. When the water comes, we use earth.
编的土。
So you get the soil on the bank of a huge river. I remember when I was little, I rode a bike from Chinchin area in Kaohsiung all the way to go
下淡水，以前叫下淡水，
the place called the Xiatanshui area.
下淡水街，
Hatanshui.
现在叫什么水？在那个溪的旁边起一
The
个水，
stream, so what is it called now? But you can get the soil next to that stream.
高雄屏东淹大水，
It would help the flood in Kaohsiung and Pingtung. And then at the center area,
流水溪，
Zhoushuiqi,
你起一个
the stream, and you get
台
soil
北的
there.
淡水河，
And then next to the Tanshui River in Taipei, you also
大
get some
河
soil.
里面的只要是大河流的土，你取来
So
照
the
样
soil
修
where the great river
修完
flows,
法，
and
将
you get them, and then you do
哪
the
一条
practice,
河的
and then you
撒向
return
哪一条河，
the soil and sprinkle them to
就不会有水
the
灾。
river where you got it from, and that would avert floods.
但是不能完全靠救天灾度，也要靠
You cannot rely just to the Tara who averts natural
当
disasters.
水能够
You also need to rely on the structures,
小河小溪，
and you need to make sure that the water
这样子才
can
能
flow
够解
out
除真正的水患。
to the ocean, and that's you can help
我还没有
avoid the
讲台
floods.
湾，我现在讲地水火。
So
先讲
after
地
the
空，
earth,
最后一个
water, and then now
地水火
fire, and then
就是
later the
天
wind.
然的灾害。
Those are all natural disasters
来告
due
诉
to
大
these
家啊，
elements.
这个地震也讲，
So
水灾
I've
也讲，
taught about earthquake,
现在呢
about
讲
floods,
火灾。
now about
火灾
disasters
如果
due
是
to
人
fire.
为的放火，
If it is due to
怎么办？
human
如果
act,
是自然的电线走火，
and then how about due to natural fire
或者是不明原因的火，
or unknown
人
reason?
为的火比较难防。
It is
真正
harder
的
to
我
avoid
们现
the
在
fire due
救
to
天
human
灾
acts.
的例子，你如何救火灾呢？
So how do you save yourself from the fire disasters? I formed this
临
mudra.
兵斗者戒阵列在前，这是九字真言法。
So this is the 9
临
syllable
兵
mantra practice.
临
Ni,
兵斗者戒阵列在前，用事中。
and then you use the 4 verticals and 5 horizontal lines.
你念这九字真言，
And then you
临
recite
兵
this
斗
9
者戒
syllable
阵
mantra.
列在前，临兵斗者戒阵列在前，临兵斗者戒阵列在前。如果那里你刚好遇到火灾，
If there is a fire someplace and you form this toward it,
阵列在前，火就熄掉。
then the fire will be extinguished. These are the mudras for the 9 syllable mantra.
这是所应的临兵斗者戒阵列在前。
So those are the
你只
mudra
要对个
form,
火，那
the
个房子
mudra
在
format of the 9 syllable
刚好
mantra.
我们在场的信
Say
众看到，
If the house
你
is
只要
on fire
临
and
兵斗者戒
someone
阵列
and one of
在
us
前，
sees it, then you
然
form
后以
this
四中
and
合
say
一
Ling Bing
压过
Do
去，
Zhe Zhen
那个火就能消掉，
戒真列在前.
就
And
没
then
有了。
you use the mudra of
救
the
火
4
灾的
verticals
方
and
法
5 horizontal lines, and then push it out, then the fire will be extinguished.
火灾实
That's
在
how
是
you
有
avert
时
the
候很
fire
难防。
disasters. Sometimes it's quite difficult
我们
to
希望
avert
这
it,
次的法会以后，
but I
火灾
hope
少一点。
after the ceremony today,
那么如
fires
果
would
你刚好
be
在场，
less. If you happen to be there, then you should do
做
it
完了
right
这个
away.
法，
You should do the practice right away. Then the fire trucks will come very fast and help. And after you do this Dharma ritual or practice, then the fire will not blaze so much. We have a true Buddha disciple, and the house is at the center, and there was fire from one side of the house, and then jump over and burn the other side. But his house was saved. So please tell everyone to take refuge in true Buddha school. Because, by taking refuge in true Buddha school has this 9-syllable mantra, and it can extinguish fire. It can avert the fire disasters. We have a true Buddha disciple that lives or has a store in a row of stores, and all the other stores were burned, but except one. And that one belonged to a true Buddha disciple. So now you know how to save yourself from the fire. Although you're not a fireman, but you can chant this. So this mudra is called the 4 vertical and 5 horizontal lines mudra. It can especially extinguish fire disaster. And now let's talk about typhoon. So do you know how to chant the Ushina Vijaya mantra? Why? This year, the typhoon all changed direction from Taiwan. Why? Why, when Grandmaster lived in seclusion in Taiwan for about 3.5 years, there was no typhoon whatsoever in Taiwan. So for that 3.5 years, there was no typhoon arriving in Taiwan or reaching Taiwan at all. We have a disciple at immigration. They can note when Grandmaster entered into Taiwan and left Taiwan. And you can check that for this 3.5 years, there was no typhoon whatsoever. There was no problems whatsoever. Why? Because when Grandmaster was in Taiwan, there was no typhoon in Taiwan at all. But as soon as I left Taiwan, typhoon started again in Taiwan. That was true. Before I came back to Taiwan, that was the Shangsen typhoon. And after I left Taiwan, there was another typhoon got to Taiwan. It was really true. And the other way to avert typhoon is the Ushina Vijaya Pagoda and the Ushina Vijaya mantra. It can also subdue the typhoon, can subdue typhoons. And also the mantra of Tara, who averts natural disasters. can also subdue typhoons. So the Taiwan Lechang Temple in southern Nantou have enshrined Ushina Vijaya Pagoda. And then if you set up another one at Tai Si, one in the north, one at the south, at the south, Nalanji or Hongpiko, and in the east also place another Ushina Vijaya Pagoda, that all the typhoons will be averted. And the Ushina Vijaya mantra, Ushina Vijaya Pagoda can all stop the typhoons. I went to Guam, and the governor of Guam especially recognized me, and I visited his residence for a banquet. And at the park there, we placed a Ushina Vijaya Pagoda, because Guam was the origin of typhoons. So we placed a Ushina Vijaya Pagoda in Guam. As soon as we enshrined it, there has not been any typhoons in Guam. So two Japanese masters from Japan. So next time if I see typhoon close to Japan, I would be happy. No, I shouldn't say that. We should be empathetic toward Japan and the Japanese. Because they have so many typhoons. They always go to Japan and Korea. They should just go to between Japan and Korea. Then there will not be any problems, right? So we have ways to deal with and avert the natural disasters due to earth, water, fire, and wind. So these are all the Dharma practice or Dharma ritual of Tara, who averts natural disasters. And she can cover all of earth, water, fire, and wind. And then I also taught you this 4 vertical, 5 horizontal lines, mudra, for a total of 9. 9 syllable mantra. So this Dharma not only helps against fire disaster, but also to save people. We have many cases or incidents where True Buddha's School saves people. One line to become the river, and then the second line to form the streams, and then the third and the fourth lines it forms a well, and this pen is not an ordinary pen, it belongs to the scholar from Mount Blue. When it points to heaven, the heaven responds, it points to the earth, and the earth is responsive, and it points to the human, they live long, and points to the bush, and the bush disappears. It's very useful. And there's the elder from Thai Sun, the Mount Thai.
我们也要用这个叫阶级化。你身上哪里有病？
So any areas that's sick,
一化成江，
and you say
二化成河，
one line
三
that
化、
forms
四化
the river, the second line
十
forming
被
with
翻
the
乃至
rivers,
三秀才，
and then with the third and fourth line, it forms the well.
世
This
人长
pen
生，
is not an ordinary pen, it belongs to the scholar from Mount Du.
这个就可以
It points to the heaven, and the heaven responds, it points to the earth, and the earth responds, it points to the human, and the human lives long, and it points to the illness, and the illness disappears.
记得我们行者不能够喝酒，
So please
修
remember
行的人不能够
that
喝
as
酒。
spiritual cultivators, we should not drink alcohol.
喝酒也不能够开车，
And when you drink, you
这
should
本
not
身就是
drive.
一种戒律。
That's precept.
这里有一个笑话，
So we have this joke.
一个男子开车经过新开通的高架道路，
A man
没
was
有多久
driving
就被警察
on
拦
the
下。
newly built road
这个警察局长
that's
笑嘻
like
嘻的
high,
过来，
like
向
a
这个男
bridge,
子道贺。
and he was stopped by a policeman.
你是这条高架道路开通后，
He was
通过这
congratulated.
条路的第1万名驾驶。
You're the
男子
one,
接受颁
the
奖，
10,000
照
person
相，并
who
且接受
drives
媒
through
体的访
this
问。
high
记者问他
road.
先生，你得到5万元奖金，准备怎么处理？
Oh,
男子回
he
答：
was the first one,
准备考
and he
驾照。
got $10,000. And what would you do?
这位男士既然是一个无照驾驶，他的妻子赶快出来讲，别听他的，他是酒后失态。
Driver license,
看，又是
and
喝
then
酒
the，wife got off the car and
又是没
said,
有驾照，又是没有喝酒。
please don't believe him because
这还
he's
得了？
drunk.
警察马
So
上把他抓
he
住。
drives without
这
license,
时候
and
丈母娘
he's
从
drunk
车里走
driving,
出来，
and then the police captured him.
早就告诉你，
And the
拖
mother-in-law
来的
said,
车不可以开。
I've told you that you should not drive a stolen car, and you didn't listen. See, now you're being
看
caught.
这个男的
So
偷人家的车，
stole the car
又没有执照，
and drove without a driver license,
这
and
这就
then
更
also
重。
drunk drive.
我们
So that's
学习
very
立教的人，
heavy.
要守立教的戒律，
So as the tantric spiritual cultivators, we should abide by the tantric precepts so that our dharma practice will produce results, will be effective. It will only be effective if you abide by the precepts. 有一个邻居走过来，看到一个小孩， A neighbor walked
看
by
到隔壁
and
家的小
saw
孩
a，kid,
这个
a neighbor's
在
kid,
大冷天，一个人站在门口。这位
standing
邻
in
居就
front of
问
the
这个小
door.
孩
And the neighbor asked the kid,
这么冷的天，你站在门口干什么？
it's so
为什么
cold,
不在
why
里
are
面
you standing in front of the door? Why don't you get in?
爸爸
And the kid
妈妈
replied,
在吵架，
Mom
爸爸
and
妈妈
Dad
吵架，
are
小孩
fighting.
子在门口。这位邻居就讲说不像话，你爸爸是谁啊？
And then
应
the
该
neighbor
知道他
said,
爸爸是谁吧？小
what?
孩子回答，
Who's your dad?
这就是他们吵架的原因。
And the kid replied, and that's the reason why they are
凡事
arguing,
每一件事情
why
的
they
发
got
生
in a fight.
都是有原因的。
So there is a reason beyond anything that happens in our lives. In Buddhism, we talk about cause and effect. So that's why we have to know, don't create an evil cause. Don't make a bad cause. Otherwise, your Dharma practice will not be effective, will not produce results. And if you violate the tantric precepts, it's all the same. Your Dharma practice will not be effective. This is very important. This joke.
看到一个美女在桥上，好像要自杀。众人就向汽车停好，伸出援手。
girl that seemed to be jumping off the bridge to kill herself. And the young man asked the lady, "Hey, beautiful lady, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm killing myself." So the young man,
我不会阻止你寻死，但是你这样子死了，有点可惜。
I will not
不如
ask.
给我一个吻别。
You know, it's a pity if you do this. Why don't you just kiss a goodbye to me? And the lady agreed to give him a hot kiss. And they kiss and kiss again and kiss again, and they didn't want to stop. And the young man said, "This kind of kiss was just truly, truly marvelous. But lady, why do you want to die?" And the lady said, "Because my parents did not let me to pretend to be a girl." So what I like to tell you is, for everything, we have to see clearly. You know, in today's world, there are too many fake news, too many slanders, defamations. There are too many fake things. So that's why every one of us should see clearly, especially to the words of those campaigning. So you should see more clearly. Don't let the good person be defamed and be sneered. So that's what I like to say. You should be able to see clearly. Don't just believe in the words.
前几天我在网络认识了一个美眉。
A few days ago, through the internet, I recognized a girl who's really beautiful and sexy. And we had a lot of fun chatting on the internet. And then she told me that my husband is going out on business tomorrow. And then I asked nervously, "Would your husband come home all of a sudden?" "No. But if he comes home, why don't you just say that you're the house cleaning person
结果呢，今天我到了美眉的家，好巧不巧，好
And
死
so
不
today
死，
I went to the
才刚
lady's
坐
house.
下来，要
And
喝
what
白
a
开水，
coincidence, I just sat
她
down
老
and
公
about
就
to
回来
drink a glass of water. Her
她的手
husband came
我连
home.
碰都没有碰到，
I have
我
not
只
even
好
touched
默
her
默地
hand.
擦了一个上午的玻璃，
So I
还
took
要
a
洗
rag
厕
and
所。
wiped the windows
她
and
老公在旁
cleaned
边
the
指导我做
toilets
工。
and the bathrooms, and the husband
临
was
走的时候，
pointing
她老公
what
问
to clean,
多少钱，
and then
结
the
果
wife
老
asked
婆
how
讲
much,
已经付给公司了。
and the
回
wife
家的
replied,
路
it's
上，
already paid
我
to the
越想
company.
越不对劲，
And on the way
这是不
home,
是
I
新
thought,
的诈骗集团？
something's wrong here. This must be a fraud company.
其实我要警告大家的是，
So what I
神
like to
团诈骗集团。
warn you is that be
现在
warned
台
of
湾
the
为什么
frauds
出名？
of
诈
the
骗集团已经骗到了世界各
companies
地。
who cheat people. You know, Taiwan is famous because of this fraudulent
连
companies.
美国也有，
And they have it in Spain and America.
连这个
They cheat people all
东
over
南
the
亚任何一个
world,
国
Spain,
家都有台湾的诈
America,
骗集团，
and all the
连
Southeast
中国大陆
Asian
也有。
countries, mainland China, they all
不要
have
讲
this
台湾，
fraud companies from Taiwan
有一
who
天我
cheat
接到
people
电
money.
话，电话里面告诉我，你儿子
One
在我手
day,
上。
I got a phone call, and someone at the other line said, your son,
是
no,
我孙子，
your grandson is with me
你
now.
的孙子在我手上。
Someone on the phone said,
马上
your
有个小孩
grandson
在
is
哭
with
的
me,
声
and
音，
then there was a child crying, you can hear.
我就问他，
And then I asked him,
我孙子讲什么话？
what language does my grandson say?
东人公台湾
And he
话。
said, of course he speaks
我说我儿子都不会
Taiwanese.
讲台湾话，
And
我
I
孙
said,
子还会
no
讲台湾
way
话吗？
that even my son cannot speak Taiwanese. How could my grandson speak Taiwanese?
所以是骗子啊！
So that was a
现
cheat.
在好多会，连台湾都在骗，我在美国他也骗。
So they try to
有一通电话打过来，
hear
你在
Taiwan.
这个美国国税局 IRS
And there was a
里面
phone
的那
call
一件事情还没有了，我现
that
在通知你，
your problem
你要
with the
按号电
IRS
话。
is not solved yet. So thereby, I'm
还
now
好我
asking
还有
you
一
to
点这
press
个
a
网
certain number on the phones.
因
But
为
good
我的
thing
女儿
I have some legal
都
knowledge
有，
because my
是
daughter
法
is
师
an attorney, a lawyer.
她告诉我
She told
，IRS
me
美国的国税
that
局
the IRS
不
of
会打电话给
America
你，准
will
备
never make phone
把
calls.
信寄到你家，
They would always
我
use
马上把电话
mails,
挂掉。
correspondence.
连
So
美
I
国都
hang
有
up
骗人，
right away because that was fraud.
所以
So
台
it
湾
happens in
台湾
America
人
too.
怎么会变成诈骗集团？台湾怎么会变成诈骗集团的国家？
Becomes have so many fraud companies.
这个就
How
是我
come
们本
Taiwan
身
is
的
a country
教
of
育问题。
frauds?
其实教育
And
不够，
Taiwanese like to cheat people.
要把人
So
心
that's
教好。
because of lack of education. They don't educate people well or properly. 好了，今天那个感谢大家到场啊， So thank you for coming
那
today.
么我们祝福提醒
And we
救
would like to
天灾
wish and we pray to Tara who averts natural disasters. We pray to Queen Tara and 21 Tara and the Tara who averts natural disasters to please bless this piece of
让
land
这里生活的人
so that people who live here can have
让这
peace
里生活的
and
人
prosperity,
没有天灾，
so that
没有人祸，
people here do not have to
让这里
suffer
的
from
人
natural
幸
disasters
福
and
美满，
also due to human acts.
让这里的
May
人
they live
健康
happily
长寿。
and
Om
in
Mani Padme
harmony
Hum.
and with good health and longevity. Okay.